What's up, blue collar scholars? We are talking glassware. This is going to be our last piece on glassware, and we're going to get fancy. So wine is one of those things where glassware is similar to coffee because it's not carbonated like beer is, right? And so we have to do things. We have to aerate it. We have to do different things to get the most out of the experience. Okay, so with wine, which, sorry folks, I'm not pouring tonight. That would make for a fun time, to be honest with you. Just sit here and have a glass of wine and talk coffee, beer, and wine with you guys. That's our goal. That's really what we want to do with Inkledo. So, but not right now. Right now we're focusing just on the glass. So, one thing about these glasses, they make me so nervous, is they're beautiful. They sound great. You can do the little fun, it's crystal, but there's some sweet spots on these things to where if you just tap them just right, they don't just break. They friggin' explode. Fun story. That's terrible and not fun at all for the person that it happened to. But I was working at a restaurant and we needed some extra help behind the bar. He's like, "Oh, I need somebody cleaning glasses." And so I called a buddy and I was like, "Hey, if you want to just come clean glasses, they'll pay you cash or whatever." He's like, "Sure, whatever." Came down. It went to go hang it on the rack. It didn't catch and it just slipped, hit. And again, they don't just break, they explode. And it just exploded. It actually shot glass in the dude's eye. He's like, "Oh my God." And we were all like, "What do you do with glass in the eye?" That's terrible. Luckily, he got it out. He was able to wash it out. It didn't scratch his eye. It didn't do anything, but time froze for a moment because wine glasses blow up. They're like little kitchen bombs just waiting to go off. So I guess what I'm saying, be very careful with these things. So the shape is important. So one of the things wine, when it's bottled, it's basically bottled with zero oxygen. Okay, so all the beautiful flavors and aromas and everything in there kind of just become inert. They just kind of die. They don't die, actually. They go to sleep. They hibernate. And so they're just, because there's no oxygen, they just kind of roll. And they stay there in their bottle until you pop it open. Okay, so that's going to be one of the reasons why we're shaped the way that we're shaped. You pour, glug, 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 even though you're supposedly not supposed to glug. Turn it so that it doesn't dribble down the side, set your bottle down. That's where the swirl comes in. So I was not a believer in the swirl until a while back I did a wine tasting comparison with an actual certified sommelier, and she was swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling, and I was like, it's this. And she swirled and swirled and swirled, and then it was completely different, and I was like, we were drinking the same wine and comparing our experiences, and it was so different. And I was like, why is that so different? And all of the comments that we got back in response to our fun little project was that, "Dude, you gotta swirl. And I was like, why? So I looked into it a little bit, and I found out that the reason why you put it in there and you swirl, so the shape of this actually helps the swirl. It comes in, so you can swirl this thing pretty seriously and it's not just gonna splash out. Okay, but swirling aerates it. Okay, so what that means is it brings oxygen air into the beverage, and it starts to bring those awesome little flavor molecules, starts to waken them up, so they're coming out of hibernation. They're gonna open up, and so you can swirl, and you pour it, it's gonna be sharp, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's not very nice," and you just keep swirling it, and then it gets a little bit more milder. Oh, hey, there's some fruit in there. You keep swirling. And then and that's because the more it's aerating, the more it's waking everything up, and it's opening these doors, getting these people awake and moving and all about, so that you can actually taste it. So part of the shape of this glass is so that you can swirl the crap out of it and not spill. Another thing, this is going to be like a running theme through everything, right? So put it to my mouth, one thing you can see here, get up close, 5s2. This does not go up nearly as high on my nose as the beer glasses did or the coffee glasses, right? So this doesn't come up to here. So it's not like sticking my whole face in the cup, but it clearly has the nose pressed up against it because you don't pour wine all the way up to the top, right? You pour wine, they're supposed to be, what are they, like 4-ounce pours, about 6-ounce. I'd have to double check that for you, but regardless, they're about right here, okay? So it's not a full glass. This is not how you pour wine. You get it right there, and so that when you pour it, like it's never going to be more than about like this, okay? So when you're drinking it, you got this nice line of surface area where everything should be opened up and coming out. So when you have it to your mouth, your nose, in order to drink it, it hits your nose, right? So the part of the tall glass, it's gonna tap your nose no matter what. And the benefit of that is that it gets your nose in there and you are smelling it as you're drinking it. And this is this glass is the first time where I really realized that your schnoz can't just be up here. You gotta stick that thing in there to get that smell. So, you stick your nose in the glass, like all the way in the glass. I know that we feel silly doing that. I felt silly anyway. I shouldn't project it onto you. I apologize. I felt ridiculous sticking my schnoz into my glasses. Eventually, I was like, you know what? Screw what these people think. I want to get the most information possible out of this glass so that I can appreciate it, so that I can enjoy it to its fullest. If I'm spending good money on this, I want it to taste good. So I gave up my fear of judgment on people around me and stuck my nose in the glass. As soon as I started sticking my nose in the glass and spending time, my experience has changed. And the sommelier that I did that thing with she's like, you taste with your nose first. And I was like, weird. But like she profiles everything on her nose, and then it's just like mouthfeel on her tongue, basically. It's the same information, it doesn't change, but the more you process so much more data up here. So remember, stick that nose in there. And so that's the point of the wine glass, to swirl and get your nose in there across that surface area. Again, pulling it back to our coffee mug. Again, so we have the curved lip here versus the pinched lip towards the top. Pinched meaning that it goes and gets narrower up here. Again, you want it pinched so that you can swirl. This one, you're not gonna swirl your coffee. You aerate and you get oxygen and things like that in the brewing process if you're brewing properly, right? So you when your water's coming down on your grounds, like it shouldn't just be like gentle, like it should stir it a little bit, not too much. It shouldn't be going crazy, but it should be stirring it a little bit, and you're getting oxygen in there. Plus, when it drips out, and that drip is coming out of the bin into the carafe or into your cup, that's aerating as well. Okay, so you're getting oxygen in there, so you don't need to stir this. This one has the rolled lip so that pouring hot beverages is there, right? But again, key, that schnoz all the way in there as close to that surface area as possible. So wine glasses, super important. I like them a little thin, but again, they're walking time bombs. But stick that nose in there, schnoz, all the way in, all the way in. So I hope this has helped. I hope this is connecting some different things that you love, coffee and wine. If it is, shoot me some comments, let me know. What's your favorite wine glass? Do you like them thick? Do you like them thin? Do you like them bowls? Do you like them? There's some crazy wine glasses in there. So let me know which one is your favorite. And with that, everybody, we will say adieu.